Well, hello, Minecrafters. Today I'm showcasing a proof of concept automatic item retrieval system. So first off, what we have here is a little cutaway of a simulated base, and this is your standard item sorter with your chests full of items. You put it in the water and sorts it. Um, and I've also got a speed unloader here, so we'll go ahead and send some things up. Let us do its thing. But what makes this different is that this is also accessible by automated minecarts to pull resources from a distant base. So let's go ahead and see how this works over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up some minecarts, and they're going to retrieve items based on a coded system. For this example, I'm just going to actually use the item itself as the code, but this could really be anything. So let's say the first cart, we're going to tell it to go get some redstone. The second cart, we're going to leave empty, just to show that the system works, even if you don't give it an item to get. Then we're also going to get diamonds. Let's say we'll get some iron, as well as some food, I guess. And we'll send these off one by one. Alright, so what's happening here is now it's entering the proper bay to pull out some redstone. And then the other carts are waiting in a queue here in a little buffer until one leaves the system. And this is the one we didn't give anything, so it's going to come right back out. And we don't want more than one cart in the system at once because they're going to get multiple items. And that way these switches are already set for the cart to grab the appropriate item. And if another cart enters, it'll end up going to the wrong place. So you can see that's grabbed that item there, and now we're going to get the food. Or, excuse me, we already got the food, we're getting the iron now. Alright, and now that's going to come back to the outbound over here. So this is the first one, we got 8 redstone. This is the empty one, and here is the final one. We've got 8 food, 4 diamonds, and 16 iron. Now, you've probably noticed that we're not actually grabbing full stacks or cartloads of things, and these hoppers are filled up. So what's happening here is we'll go down to the maintenance hatch over here. Is what we have is that we can designate a par for the number of items we want an automated cart to retrieve. So for some of these, and here's how this works. You just put items in this timer here. So you're going to get the amount of items plus 1. So this would retrieve 8 items for the redstone. The diamonds were less. We had 3, so we're getting 4 diamonds. And something like the iron here was more when we brought back 16 of them. Now I also have some larger amounts over here. And I'll show you an important feature of the system using the larger amounts. If I can figure out how to fly here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some dirt. And we're going to do 2 carts getting this. Alright, so we've already got 1 cart in the bay getting the dirt. And this one takes a little longer because we're asking for more items, and they only come out so fast. But now you'll notice that this is unpowered, and the reason for that is that the timer is getting reset. So what's going to happen is now the cart is going to wait until the timer is ready, otherwise it won't pull out the appropriate number of items. So now the timer's ready, it's going in, and it's doing its thing. But let's do a little overview of what's happening here. So first off, in the base, here is a fairly standard item sorting system. And then below, we have the modules. These are one tile wide unloaders. Now, these do share a lot of similarities with some of the other multifunction unloaders that I have on my channel you can look for. But those designs are all two tiles wide. So they have actually more functions and more features, where this is really a stripped down bare bones one that fits in one tile. It doesn't have a lot of the functions, but it does have the hopper timer here, as well as the access control. That's what you get for one tile. Over here, we have a switching system that I've divided into top and bottom halves because you really can't put switches next to each other when the tracks are directly next to each other, or otherwise bad things happen. So what's happened here is we've separated them to give us room to make the switch before the tracks come together to merge nicely with the one tile wide sorting system. Now to set these particular switches, this is essentially the brain, this is the decoder, and again, this is just your standard item filter, and these can be any item, but again, I've just used the same item just so it's easy to understand and see. But that just triggers a line that goes around and essentially hits one of these modules, which is just a flip-flop that controls the intersection, and then we have the reset here, so when the cart goes in, it resets it, so when it goes out, it'll come back out this way. And then finally, we have the buffer. And this, I do have a tutorial already. I'll put a link at the end of the video. This is really nothing's changed from that. Here is the reset line. So when the carts have finished all their potential items that they're going to get, it triggers the reset, which then allows another cart to go through the buffer. Essentially, it does that. So when a cart hits the tripwire, it blocks other carts from going through. Alright, I will make some tutorials for the various components in their own separate videos. But thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. And while the video closes out, and we'll put some links on the screen here, I'm just going to send some more carts off to do their thing in the system.